Hello, everybody. My name is Graham, and you're watching the Political Vigilante. We're back in the new studio. We got the mic on a retractable arm. We've got a light thing here that casts sort of a Halloween shadow. Welcome to Gotham. It's great to be back in the studio, right? We got the guns going. So Saturday, after the election, when Joe Biden was declared the winner, people went in the streets to celebrate, which part of it I get. I understand. People were just needed something fun to celebrate. It's been a tough year with COVID. People have lost jobs. People have died. We can't do anything fun. You can't go to concerts or movies or sporting events or any. So I get the part of the dancing in the street. I was glad Trump lost, but I couldn't dance in the street for Joe Biden, the author of the 1994 crime bill, and Kamala Harris, who put 100,000 black men behind bars, protected Steve Mnuchin, protected pedophile priests as a district attorney in San Francisco. Joe Biden was vice president that helped Obama drop more bombs than Bush, 6 million foreclosures. The list goes on. And I know a lot of us felt like maybe we were alone, but we weren't. I know some of this video has been making the rounds on the progressive media, but I want to show it to you as well. This was on Sunday, the day after Biden was declared the winner. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck Biden too. Both of them don't give a fuck about you. And I want to freeze this and just show you it's a little blurry, but this is in Detroit. And it was, I believe, like a Black Lives Matter protest. If you saw that first sign at the beginning, it says Black Lives and Brown Lives Matter. Right? And these are a lot of young people. And I'm sure there's people of all ages here and all ethnicities, but I thought all black people wanted to vote for Kamala. No, they didn't. I showed you that MSNBC clip. I'll show you that in a second. But this started popping off at cities all over America with basically the same version of this chant. And fuck Biden too. So why do people think that? I thought Joe Biden was our hero. Why are these young people all mad? What are you doing? We got Trump out. The Onion had a funny thing. Like everybody celebrated Trump losing and then, oh, that's right, Joe Biden. I'm not doing the Onion title I'm not doing it. I'm not giving it justice. I had a hard time with that sentence. Because a lot of people are waking up. There's a lot of people that vote any blue will do crowd. And again, I understand just a need to go out and celebrate and have something fun. Everyone's been in the streets all summer, but they've been for protests, which are a good thing, but they're tense. They're intense. There's cops, and sometimes they got violent. So it's not like a necessarily fun. Some of them were, but for the most part, they were really intense emotional things, as well they should be. That's what a protest should be. So I get the need for wanting to party. Part of me was like, man, I'd like to party in the streets, but I just couldn't do it for Joe Biden. They got it right. Because this is Joe Biden. This is what he thinks of millennials and Gen Z, Gen Y.
The younger generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. No. I have no empathy for it. Give me a break. No. I have no empathy for it. Give me a break.
And this was before COVID-19. California just this awful ballot measure that screws over drivers for Uber and Lyft, right? And Grubhub. And I think some people voted for it or whatever, or against it. I think it was voted for. I forget how it passed, but it's not good for the worker because Uber spent all this money to push it and to lie to people. And, they do the scare tactics. Oh, this thing's going to make everything great, or it's going to, whatever. They use scare tactics, or they misrepresent and say, this will fix everything. And people just go, okay, cool. And they don't realize they got screwed over. No, I have no sympathy. That's just typical rich, older generation dicks. They think he had it so hard. Really? Joe Biden, when you were in your 20s, did you see complete collapse of capitalism? Did you have crushing student loan debt? Were you sitting there looking at all of the climate science from the UN and thousands of scientists all over the planet and go, oh, I'm not going to see my 50th birthday. I'm not going to see it. I got nieces and nephews aged like 12 to 21. I'm worried. I'm terrified that they're not going to make it to their 50th birthdays because the planet's going to collapse. That's Joe Biden. He doesn't give a shit because, he'll be dead by then. I mean, you have people living in the streets. You have young people living in the street. You have 30 million evictions that are looming. So that's why people were saying this. Right?
Now is the time for Democrats, and I believe Joe Biden will do this, to begin to listen to what the other half of the country has had to say. But we have to listen to what those folks, those Republicans all across this country has had to say.
John Kasich, Republican, is going to be in Biden's cabinet. John Kasich is awful. He was a joke in the 2016. His political career was dead. Everybody celebrating the Biden win. Did you realize you were celebrating the resurrection of his career and Mitt Romney's career? And he's basically saying, yes, the Democratic Party, we hate progressives. We hate you. We hate you. I bet you most of the people chanting in Detroit, fuck Trump and fuck Biden, true. Both of them don't give a fuck about you. I bet you a lot of those folks are progressive. Bet you a lot of members of the DSA in there.
This thing that's happened to Joe Biden is the fact that the United States Senate is either going to be Republican or very close. And the far left can push him as hard as they want. And frankly, the Democrats have to make it clear to the far left that they almost cost him this election.
No. Joe Biden's centrism almost cost him the election. If it wasn't for Trump being an idiot with COVID-19, Biden would have lost. God.
And that congresswoman from Virginia warned the Democrats. You want to talk about defunding the police?
Yeah, she's from former CIA. So this is the big winners. CIA Democrats and Republicans. Yay. And why Kasich is wrong and why those people in the streets in Detroit are right for saying both of them don't give a fuck about you, because they don't. And we got to talk to all these people, that all these Republicans got a different point of view. Okay, some of Republicans aren't for defund the police, but if you explain it to them correctly, they might get it. But I tell you what, most Americans are for, regardless if they call themselves Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, Democrat, Green, whatever. Look at this. The Democratic Party establishment is to the far right of the U.S. population. Compare these public opinion polls in this thread of the Dem Party platform, right? So why is the party pandering to the right when poll after poll shows broad support for their left? Medicare for all, 70%. Taxes on extreme wealth, 74%. Environmental protection, 68%. And I bet you could get that number up if you tied a Green New Deal that actually showed them, not restrictions, not going to take away milk and planes, whatever the Fox News bullshit says, but say this environmental protection will actually give you a better union paying job. All you people waiting tables, driving for Lyft or Uber, Grubhub, and having to sell, all you people having to sell your plasma to put food on the table on top of your minimum wage job, actually a Green New Deal is going to give you a good paying union job and protect the environment. That number will go up. Social Security, they want it up. Ending police repression. 67% of the country wants to end police repression. People don't want to defund the police. Oh, really, John Kasich? Is that why during those 2 weeks of the George Floyd protests in every state, every city in all 50 states had tens of millions of people on the streets? 18 countries? Is that why? But we don't have any of these because we only have the illusion of a democracy. And how do they implement what George Carlin is talking about? The propaganda multiplier. I've showed you this before. White House, CIA, Pentagon, feed AP, AFP, and Reuters. Right? And then it trickles down to all these things. All these same news agencies get the same shit. Fox and NPR on the same. How they're so different. No. They spew different sides of the same bullshit coin. American exceptionalism. And also the reason when these are separate or different, that like even like Democracy Now! And Fox News, that's to keep you believing that there's a difference in these two parties. Part of the bullshit that they feed you that George Carlin was just talking about is to feed you into thinking that there's a difference between these two parties. We have to make a real tough choice between fracking with science and fracking without science. Real tough choice between telling you we're going to bail out Wall Street or bailing out Wall Street and not telling you. Those are the tough choices of bombing countries with a rainbow flag on the bomber or bombing without a rainbow flag. Trump and Biden, neither one was going to do Medicare for all. Neither one was going to ban fracking. Neither one was going to cut the military budget. They're not going to do it. And we're all fed this bullshit. And the masses down here were dancing in the street Saturday. The people who have unplugged from this bullshit, they were in the streets on Sunday saying both of them don't give a fuck about you. They feed us this bullshit. Like they hide us about all of these speeches from Malcolm X. That's why I didn't know about Fred Hampton till last year. That's why they feed us the MLK speeches that are like the I Have a Dream, which is a beautiful speech. It's a wonderful sentiment. But they really don't want you knowing that MLK was a socialist. Something is wrong with the economic system of our nation. Something is wrong with capitalism. Maybe America must move toward a democratic socialism. We must develop programs that will drive the nation to the realization of the need for a guaranteed annual income. Dr. Martin Luther King, September 14th, 1966. He started unifying people, talking this message, talking anti-war. They killed him for it. You come here for the truth. You want to celebrate Trump's gone? Great. But if you think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to resurrect you, then you were been asleep this whole time. You think only bad things started under Trump. You don't like families separated at the border? I get it. It's awful. The cages were built under the Obama administration, him and Biden deported 3 million people. Like I can go on and on with this shit. The liberals that refuse to acknowledge how awful the Democratic Party is, specifically Obama-Biden years, specifically Hillary Clinton, specifically Bill Clinton, specifically Nancy Pelosi, specifically Chuck Schumer, those people that won't acknowledge that, you are just as delusional as the Trump supporter that says, oh, Trump never lies. You're just as delusional. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so that I can keep bringing you this. Because they didn't show that on Democracy Now! They didn't show those people chanting Trump and Biden, don't fuck them. They don't give a fuck about you. They didn't show that on Democracy Now! They didn't show that on CNN or MSNBC or Fox even. It was on social media and indie news shows like this, and Jimmy Dore showed it and a couple of, we all showed it. So that's why you got to come here. I can't do the show without your support. Thanks for watching. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching, everybody. please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at grahamelwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.